So I had my provisional hearing for court, for custody. Um, Welcome to the channel if you haven't seen it yet. I don't usually do videos in the car because I don't like to while I'm driving, but I've, the provisional hearing was yesterday for custody. I tried to gain full custody of my son with visitation for my soon-to-be ex. It didn't work out. I wasn't happy with how it was handled, but I understand that judges have to make split decisions in provisional hearings without all the information that may come up later. Unfortunately, that means that we're probably going to have to go to trial because I don't believe that he had enough information to make a good decision. And I'm sure that they have that a lot. And I'm sure that a lot of times they make quick decisions and then have to go back on those later, but we'll see what happens. A lot of things came up. We tried to get in, we talked beforehand, which is part of what we do here in this state. You do a quick 15 or 20-minute thing beforehand out in the hallway to try to resolve any differences. There wasn't much resolved. There was some stuff that we agreed on that had basically already been agreed on, such as the school for the coming year, which school he's going to go to. And we had to get that resolved because school, I think we're going to have to get him signed up probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that needed to be handled. There were some things that stopped us from agreeing previously that still stopped us from agreeing, and that was the stipulation that I had where either one of us went into the hospital for mental health reasons, that my son would go to the other parent for a year at least, with full custody for a year. And she refused that, which to me kind of leads me to believe that she expects something like that to happen. Oh, sorry, there was another stipulation as well. If either one of us lost our job for 3 or more months. Both of those two stipulations are things that have been consistent with my significant other over the years. A lot of suicidal thoughts, a lot of things like that that came up over the years, and many times I was told by her, and at this point I don't know what's true and what's not. I may have been being manipulated, but I was told that, the only reason I didn't commit suicide was, to remember that your hugs, to remember that you were always there for me. And I was always there no matter what, so I get it. My ex said things like, "Oh, I'm so much better now than I was." Well, it's temporary, you know what I mean? Everything's temporary, but it very well could be true. There's absolutely, maybe she really wasn't happy in our marriage, and that happens. I get it, especially with women more often than men. Later on in the years, they just realize, well, the kids are older now. I'm not happy with how my life is going at this point. I want something different, and it happens. And then I believe what's happening now is and probably with a lot of people, men and women that go through this, that choose divorce, they are now having to develop all the reasoning behind why they left. Absolutely, a lot of it was probably there beforehand, which made them get to this decision. Some of it could be that they've been talking to another person or multiple people where they feel like, well, I'm not getting, this person says they can offer this to me, or I feel like that my life would be better with this other person. So now I feel comfortable enough to leave my current significant other. So I think that happens a lot, probably. And a lot of these, it's no fault. It's no fault is a thing because it's a thing. It's nobody necessarily did anything. Like, it's really hard, even in the states that do have fault, to prove that somebody did something without like a private investigator watching them, to go, watch them and take pictures of them or something like that. Most divorces, I think, in the United States are no fault. They just things fall apart. It is what it is. People get unhappy. and they just don't stick around anymore like they used to years and years ago. Now, that is not to say that a lot of people didn't stay in marriages that were terrible back, in the 50s or 60s or what have you. Even gay people, trans people, what have you, they stayed in marriages because they were afraid of what society might do to them. So I 100% understand that. I'm a very empathic, empathetic person. Of course, not a lot of people, most people that I know would agree with that. My ex would not, and I get that. You villainize the other person to make things feel right for you. I get it. I understand. But anyway, the provisional hearing, I don't feel like the judge got all the information that he needed. He had to make a split decision. There was not really a hearing so much as we went into his office and just talked through some things. She fought for the cat, and she left the cat when she left, and I kind of developed more of a connection with the cat. It was just me and her for a long time, and it was like a therapy cat for me. You know what I mean? There were times when I felt like, well, nobody loves me. No, who cares about me? Nobody cares. And that cat would come up, and it's like she could tell. Like she could tell that something was wrong with me, and that she thought that she could help, and that was amazing to me. And I've always liked animals. I've always loved animals. But I always had the thing of, like, I had too much to take care of already with my family. So it's a lot of stress. A lot of men go through that. A lot of stress on your health and your body and your brain. And so I was like, I don't want to have another thing. It's like adding another family member that you like. Animals are, cats less so, but another animal's like having another child. And it's like, look, there's a lot of work here already. I need to shore my time and my stress level down. So if we have an animal, I need it to be taken care of, like, so that it's not on me to take care of it. So that was why I haven't really had pets over the years as much. We tried a few times, some things didn't work out, some things did. It happens. Sometimes pets just don't work out for the kids. They don't work out in the house for whatever reasons. And I get it. Some people will say, well, once you get an animal, you can't give up on it. I get it. Sometimes it happens, especially if you have kids and the animal doesn't work with the child and keeps jumping up and knocking the kids down, things like that. It's a problem, and it's not being trained. Anyway, I'm kind of just rambling here because I am driving. But yeah, so the provisional hearing, it kind of made me sad. I really didn't get much that I was asking for. There was one very odd stipulation that the judge put in against my soon-to-be ex that I'm not going to go over because it's more of a private thing, but it really wasn't something I was asking for. It was oddly one of those weird sort of judge moral call things where he didn't believe that she should be doing something, and I thought it was kind of weird. I thought personally it was one of those judgments where he might have been overstepping a little bit, but I guess they have kind of a broad ability to rule on stuff like that. So I won't go over that too much more, but it was odd, and it did have to do with her boyfriend. But yeah, other than that, I wasn't happy with how it came out, but it is now likely to go to trial. It sounded like from both lawyers that mediation might not be working. It sounds like we're both already locked into what we want to happen. And I believe, at least from my lawyer's perspective, that is because he knows that there are a lot of facts. And once those facts are put on the table, and once an ad litem starts talking to my son, then reality's going to set in. And the table will start to tip in my favor, in my son's favor. So I think that's probably where it'll go, and goodness knows how long it's going to take. I don't know. I know some people who are in divorce they're in the middle of it still, and they're 4 or 5 months in. I know in some states the average is a year and a half, especially if it has to go to trial, because when it goes to trial, there has to be all this discovery. There has to be all the paperwork, things like that. Like one of the questions, sorry, I don't know the word I'm thinking of right now, so I'm driving. One of the things that I claimed is if it needs to be proven, we're going to have to find some financial records from 15 years ago. And I'm not even sure how we're going to get that. It would be in the old checking accounts, I think. So, and honestly, I think it's probably something that, in my case, I'm not sure she even remembers that it happened, which happens with somebody with my ex's mental issues. And I'm not blaming her for any of this. I am not. And I know it feels, if you have something like that, then it's not fair to you. And I know you feel like people shouldn't be able to hold these things against you. And I don't think, sometimes they will hold things against you, but you also can't act like things didn't happen. You know what I mean? Because sadly, if you have bipolar or BPD or something like that, and you do harm somebody else, you still harm that person, and it's sad but true. So we will have to see how it goes. I don't know how long this discovery stuff's going to take. There could be a lot of insurance documents that have to come up with her medical records and things over the years. It's probably going to cost us a lot of money. I will probably be drained fully of every amount of capital that I have in my 401k and Roth IRA. The only thing that I will have left is the house, and houses are good capital these days. They're good investments, so that'll be something, and I can probably pay that off in 10 years if I bump up my payments a little bit, and then by 55ish to have a house paid off is pretty nice. Even if I'm in a low income, low housing market area, it's still something paid off. So anyway, I better get off here. I'm getting close to work now. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. If anybody wants to hear anything, please ask. I am trying to be judicious about this right now. I don't want to give too much information. I don't want to cause any trouble with court. So I'm trying to just give my thoughts without causing any issues. So I hope you guys like my beard. Anybody who's subscribed, if you want to know more, like and subscribe. I'd be happy to do more videos on how things are going. Like I said, I'm only given so much information based off of what I feel like I'm able to say outside of court, because some of that stuff is private, hasn't been put in yet. The provisional order will actually come in later this week, so we'll get that sorted out. All right, everybody, have a good day. Hope you're doing better than I am today, but I got to remember in my head, it's not the end of the world. My son still loves me. The rest of my family still loves me. I don't know that my ex loves me anymore. Maybe she still does deep down, but she probably hates me at this minute. I get it. I'm not happy in life either right now. I wish things could go back. And I wish I could change some things. But there's nothing, hindsight's 20/20. You can't fix the past. I can learn from it. I can do better in my next relationship or next relationships. I can find people that have less of the triggers and issues that came up in my marriage. So anyway, have a good day. It's early. If you're at work, quit slacking at work. If you're on your way to work or on your way home, thanks for listening to me. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I've only got a few subscribers, but I'd love to get some more. I'll keep talking about things. I will start talking about my positive things soon. I am triathlon training, so I might start streaming some of that or something. I was really happy. I did a test trial run this last weekend for a triathlon and did the whole thing first try. Sprint triathlon, sorry, not a full one. I'm not up to that yet. Anyway, hey, have a good day, everybody. It's getting really rainy and nasty out here. Bye.